The chamber of the Galactic Council was silent. Not the kind of silence born from peace, but the kind that came before something irreversible. Hundreds of species filled the vast circular hall, each seated in tiers that rose like a coliseum. Bioluminescent beings shimmered in soft blues and greens. Armored delegates clicked their mandibles impatiently. Gas-based entities floated within containment spheres, their forms swirling with agitation. At the center hovered a holographic projection of a small blue planet. A fragile world by galactic standards. A dangerous one by reputation. Final vote is now in session, the Arbiter announced, its voice echoing through translation fields that adapted seamlessly to every species present. Designation, Sol 3. Common name, Earth. Species, human. Motion, permanent exile from all recognized galactic territories. A ripple moved through the assembly. Some felt relief. Others felt curiosity. A few, very few, felt something close to fear. They are unpredictable, hissed one delegate, its elongated neck coiling tighter. Their technological progression defies natural models. They weaponize everything. They are chaotic, another added. No unified governance. Constant internal conflict. Yet, they survive. And thrive, a third muttered. That was the problem. Humanity did not follow the rules. Every other species had evolved into stability, into cooperation or structured hierarchy. War, in most corners of the galaxy, had become a distant memory. But humanity? Humanity turned war into an art form. They destabilized trade routes, said a crystalline entity, its voice ringing like shattered glass. They interfere in disputes that do not concern them. They intervene, corrected another, quieter voice. The chamber shifted. A lone delegate, one of the few who had actually met humans, leaned forward. They intervene, it repeated. Often recklessly. Often violently. But not without purpose. Purpose? A reptilian envoy scoffed. They invaded a pirate stronghold without council authorization. They dismantled it, the delegate replied calmly. Completely. A threat we had tolerated for centuries, erased in less than a cycle. Murmurs spread. Yes, the Arbiter acknowledged. But their methods were excessive. That was an understatement. Human ships had not merely destroyed the pirate fleet. They had hunted them. Tracked survivors across systems. Ensured none remained. No warnings. No negotiations. Just finality. They are too dangerous, the Arbiter continued. Too independent. Too willing to act without consensus. And too effective, the lone delegate said softly. But the vote had already been cast. The Arbiter raised its luminous appendages. By unanimous decision. Pause. Even the air seemed to hold its breath. Earth is hereby exiled from the Galactic Council. All trade, communication, and travel with Sol 3 is prohibited. Any species maintaining contact will face sanctions. The hologram of Earth flickered. Then dimmed. Cut off. Just like that, humanity was alone. Middle, silence. Then something worse. At first, nothing happened. No retaliation. No desperate pleas. No threats. Humanity simply vanished. Trade routes that once passed near Sol space were rerouted. Communication buoys were deactivated. Observation drones kept their distance. Years passed. Then decades. And slowly, something unsettling began to spread through the galaxy. Piracy, once nearly extinct, began to rise again. Small at first. Isolated attacks. Then coordinated strikes. Entire convoys disappeared. Colonies on the fringes reported raids, swift, brutal, efficient. They're evolving, one council report noted. Learning from previous failures. But something was different. These pirates were more organized than before. More precise. Almost trained. Meanwhile, border conflicts between minor species escalated. Without a dominant stabilizing force, or a deterrent, old grudges resurfaced. Skirmishes turned into wars. Trade alliances fractured. The galaxy, once unified under the Council's watchful eye, began to crack. And through it all, one question echoed in private discussions. Where are the humans? They should have responded by now, one general said during a closed council session. Retaliation, expansion, something. They haven't even probed our borders, another added. They're planning, the lone delegate warned. The same one who had defended them before. They don't forget, it said. And they don't forgive easily. But the council dismissed the concern. They've been isolated for decades, the arbiter replied. Without trade, without allies, they will weaken. That assumption would soon prove catastrophic. The first signal. It came from the edge of known space. A distress beacon. Automated. Looping. A mining colony had gone dark. When a patrol fleet arrived, they found devastation. Structures torn apart. Ships scattered like debris. No survivors. But there was something else. A message. Burned into the surface of a landing platform in precise, deliberate markings. You were warned. The council immediately blamed pirates. Until they analyzed the data. The attack pattern. The weapon signatures. The efficiency. It didn't match pirate behavior. It matched something far more disciplined. Far more familiar. The return. The first confirmed sighting happened 3 cycles later. A massive pirate fleet, larger than anything seen in centuries, had surrounded a trade hub. Hundreds of ships. Advanced weaponry. Coordinated tactics. The local defense forces were overwhelmed within minutes. Desperation spread. A distress call was sent, not to the council, but blindly, to anyone who might hear. And someone did. At first it was just a blip on the sensors. Then another. Then dozens. Ships. Unknown design. Emerging from the darkness beyond the system's edge. They're not in our registry, the station commander whispered. The pirate fleet turned to face the new arrivals. Weapons charged. Silence fell across every channel. Then a single transmission. Come. Clear. Human. You're operating in restricted space. The pirates hesitated. Then laughed. This territory belongs to no one, their leader replied. The council abandoned it. Pause. Then the human voice returned. No, it said. They abandoned you. And then, hell broke loose. The battle. Human ships moved like predators. Not in rigid formations, but fluid, adaptive patterns that shifted mid-engagement. They didn't just fire. They hunted. Targeting command vessels first. Disrupting communication lines. Isolating groups. Every move was calculated. Every strike precise. Within minutes, chaos consumed the pirate fleet. They tried to regroup. Failed. Tried to retreat. Couldn't. Human ships anticipated every maneuver. Cut off every escape route. It wasn't a battle. It was an execution. The station's sensors recorded everything. And what they recorded terrified the council. Because this wasn't the same humanity they had exiled. This was something refined. Something that had spent decades adapting, evolving, becoming stronger in isolation. Within an hour, the pirate fleet was gone. Completely. No survivors. No wreckage large enough to salvage. Just drifting debris and silence. Then the human fleet turned toward the station. Panic surged. Weapons locked. Shields raised. But no attack came. Instead, a transmission. You're safe, the voice said. Why? The commander asked, barely able to speak. We cut you off. We know, the human replied. Pause. Then. That was your decision. The transmission ended. The fleet vanished. Just like that. The revelation. The council convened immediately. Reports flooded in. More sightings. More interventions. Every time a major threat emerged, pirates, rogue factions, warlords, humans appeared. Eliminated the threat. No demands. No negotiations. No attempt to rejoin the council. They're policing us, one delegate said, stunned. From the outside, another added. They're not protecting us, the arbiter corrected. They're controlling the balance. And doing it better than we ever did, the lone delegate said quietly. That was the truth no one wanted to admit. Without the council, the galaxy had fractured. with humans operating in the shadows. It was stabilizing again. But not under Council authority. Under theirs. The message. It came without warning. Every system. Every station. Every ship. A single broadcast. Human origin. The entire galaxy went silent to listen. The screen flickered. A human figure appeared. Not a soldier. Not a politician. Just a representative. Come. Unarmed. We received your decision, the human said. No anger. No bitterness. Just certainty. You chose to exile us. To isolate us. To remove us from your system. Pause. We accepted that. The chamber where the council watched felt smaller somehow. For decades we observed, the human continued. We learned. We adapted. Images flashed behind them. Human shipyards. Massive structures orbiting distant stars. Technologies far beyond anything previously recorded. You believed isolation would weaken us, the human said. Another pause. It didn't. The images shifted. Pirate fleets destroyed. Wars ended. Threats eliminated. We became self-sufficient. Stronger. Faster. More dangerous. And we realized something important. The human leaned slightly forward. You don't need a council. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. You needed order, they said. You needed protection. You needed someone willing to act when others hesitated. Another pause. So we made a decision of our own. The screen flickered one last time. We will not rejoin the council. Shock rippled across every system. But we will enforce stability. A chill spread through the galaxy. Any threat to peace will be dealt with. No negotiation. No vote. No discussion. Decisively. The human's gaze seemed to pierce through the screen. You exiled Earth. A final pause. And that, they said softly, was your biggest mistake. The transmission ended. Ending, a new order. The council still exists. Technically. Its chambers are still filled. Debates still happen. Votes are still cast. But everyone knows the truth now. The real power lies elsewhere. Beyond their reach. Human fleets patrol the edges of known space. Invisible until needed. Unstoppable when they appear. Piracy has nearly vanished again. Wars end before they truly begin. Conflicts dissolve under the quiet threat of intervention. No treaties. No alliances. Just understanding. If you destabilize the galaxy, they will come. And when they do, there are no second chances. The final scene. In a remote system far from the Council's influence, a young species takes its first steps into space. Their ships are primitive. Their knowledge limited. Their future uncertain. As they launch their first exploration vessel, their sensors pick up something unexpected. A signal. Simple. Clear. Human. Welcome to the stars, it says. Pause. Then. Don't make the same mistakes they did. The signal fades. But the message remains. Echoing across the galaxy. A reminder. A warning. The truth. Humanity was never the problem. They were the solution. The Council just realized it. Too late.